Do you want to take super cute pictures of your hamsters, but are you struggling with the fact that they continue to move, or you just simply don't know where to start? In today's video, I'm going to share with you all of my tips and tricks when it comes to taking pictures of your hamster. I'm going to bring you through my entire process today, so stay tuned. You hear that squeaking? I promise it's not a hamster, that's the floor. So annoying. So you probably can tell if you've seen any of my videos that today's setup is a little different. I'm actually sitting on the floor instead of a chair this week. I have no makeup on, and today we're just trying something different. I have a hot cup of tea instead of coffee, and I am excited to just share with you kind of like a more chill video of just taking you along my process of how I take photos of all my hamsters. So this week I'm trying to batch a bunch of content. I'm going to be working at my regular job Monday through Friday this next week, and then Monday through Saturday the following week, which normally I only go into the studio 3 days a week, and then I do the rest of the stuff from my house. If you don't know, my full-time job is an aerial director, and I teach aerial circus arts, so it's a super fun job. I literally have the best life ever, but I know that I need to batch some content, so this is kind of like my strategy as to how I do that. And so I'm going to take you along today, just sitting here chilling. Maybe Frappuccino will make an appearance. Now, all of you might not be in the same headspace of like batching content, but all that means is like you do a bunch of things at one time in order to save you time. And so I like to collect items that I'm going to use as photo props. I'll take out little hides from all my different enclosures that I want to use. I will get little miniature things like tiny little baskets, tiny little mushrooms, tiny little whatever you can think of. I just use tiny little objects, and I put them in a pile and I get them ready to go in order to prep for the photo shoot. So that's step number one. A lot of times I'll just be buying stuff throughout the month, and then they'll just go in a corner, and then when I'm ready to batch content for that month, then I'll just like take it all out and get ready to go. So that's step number one. Then step number two is I really recommend having a ring light. A ring light just helps you control the lighting in the room. Obviously, it might not be possible for everyone. I've had a ring light because I literally used to do YouTube for like 5 years before starting this channel, because I've just switched niches, so that's why new YouTube channel. I have my ring light. You can also just simply make sure you're in front of a window, but a ring light is great just because you can control the lighting environment. So I set up my ring light, and then I have a stool that I have personally painted a neutral yellow color, and I set it up against a white wall. This way, the background of my photos is always going to be a pretty white color, which I love. White is my favorite color, which is so funny. So then I just simply grab one of the mini photo props, I set it on the stool, and then I'll go find a hamster that I think would look great in the shot based off of their fur color, or just simply whoever's awake, because I don't wake them up when I do the photo shoots. And so I'll just see who's awake. Most of the time when I'm in the hamstery and like moving around, they hear me, and so then they wake up, and it's because they know they're getting a treat. So that's why, that's my theory at least. So what I'll do is I'll scoop them up, I'll set them on the photo prop, and then I'll start shooting pictures. So my third step is to not be afraid to flip your phone upside down. You're gonna see as I'm taking photos that there's times that I'll take the photos like this, but there's also plenty of times where I flip it upside down, because then the camera is closer and is on like the hamster's level. And so I think that it just gives you a different variety of a shot and sometimes focuses more on the hamster. So that's my advice. You're welcome to use like a literal camera. Like right now I'm filming on a camera, but I don't like to take pictures of my hamsters with an actual camera because I find that it's harder for me to edit them. It's just so much more, it just makes it so much more of a big deal, I guess, and I feel like it has to be so much more perfect because it's with a camera, versus when it's on my phone, it's just so much easier. Okay, so step number 4 is sometimes a hamster just needs a treat. I'm assuming that you guys can probably all guess that. I personally today, when I did my photo shoot, I didn't use any treats and they all seemed fine, but I don't force them to do something that they don't want to do. So like if they continue to like want to walk off of the stool, like I'm not going to keep them on the stool. I'm just going to scoop them back up and I'm going to put them back in their cage. But most of the time I can observe their body language based off of their ears and the way that they're looking, and I can normally tell if they're in a stressed mood or if they're chilling and more just like exploring, like how they would during their free roaming time. So there's a way you can observe their body language, but also they're used to this because this is not something that I'm just doing once in a while. They're used to this because our subscription box has mini photo props in it. I love to take photos of my hamsters, of course, with the mini photo props, so they're used to that. My next tip for you would to be, okay, so we talked about taking photos like this in comparison to taking photos like this, but I would also recommend taking photos like this. So what I mean by that is like literally whatever surface you're taking a photo on, take a picture from above your hamster and it'll give a completely different, it's called a flat lay, I believe, but it'll give a completely different fun angle and it'll look so nice on your feed. I'm assuming you're wanting to post these to Instagram. Now you understand kind of how I set everything up and how I take my photos. Now here comes the part where the photos come to life. So what I personally do is I use an app called Lightroom. I'm sure you've heard of it before. Now I want to encourage you, download the app. It's free, and then I go through my camera roll, and as I'm on my camera roll, I heart all the photos that I like. So if the hamster is blurry or moving, I just swipe past it and I heart all of the photos that I'm like, ooh, I want to edit this and see what it looks like. So I'll heart them, and then as soon as I'm done hearting a category of photos, I'll delete all the rest. And obviously they're in my trash, so if I really need them for the next 30 days, I can go get them, but I just prefer to keep it clean that way, so it's not just like, otherwise there's like literally 50 photos almost of every single hamster. That's another thing, just literally keep pushing shoot, like keep touching the button and you will catch your hamster frozen at some point. But then as soon as I have all of my hearted photos, I import those hearted photos into Lightroom. So I just select them all, just as if you were going to text somebody, and I push Lightroom and I import them into Lightroom. Now when you go to Lightroom, obviously it's just like an editing software, so you could literally edit it in the Instagram app, you could edit it on your regular photo app. I don't know if you guys know this, but the iPhone has the literal coolest setting ever. So here's Pebble. If I wanted, I could click, oh my gosh, I'm falling over. If I wanted, I could click edit in the top hand corner, and then you just click this little button here that says auto, and it automatically, oh, I don't have that much to edit with that photo, but it automatically, I guess, edits the photo. So that's like a super simple solution if like you don't want to like edit the photo. But I find Instagram feed looks so nice if you use what's called a preset. Now presets are not that expensive if you're only getting one. There are so many influencers out there who have like a preset, and it's literally their color correcting settings that then they give you access to. So then all you do is put that preset over your photo and it makes it look so beautifully edited. But it's a preset, so you just can literally push the button and it edits it. So I personally use, her name is Aspen Ovard's presets. I've been using them for forever. For a while for my Happy Hamstery feed, I was using what's called Carmelo, and I did really like that one, but I didn't like that it didn't give me enough depth of colors, and so I really love warm tones. I really loved the warm tone of Carmelo, but it was just too not deep enough for me. So anyway, so I love the Aspen Ovard. I'm sure she has plenty of new ones now too, but this was from a couple of years ago. And so I use hers and I just simply apply them to the photos, and I play with which one of her 5 presets that I like for that photo. And then once I've added a preset to all the different photos, I export them back into my camera roll. From there, this is the fun part. It's all fun, but it's just so fun. Then from there, I'll go through and I'll like pick my favorites. I'll delete any of the angles that I didn't love and I liked one more, whatever. And then I'll either import them to Instagram and like start editing them from Instagram, or I'll do it in my camera roll. It just depends on how I'm feeling. It's different all the time. But what I want to do here is zoom in on the photo to make it look very intentionally taken. So like if a part of the stool corner is showing, I'll zoom in. If I want the focal point to be the hide with the hamster peeking out, like I'll zoom in. Just like a photography thing, in case you didn't know, when you're going to take a picture, there should be, let me double check how many lines there are. Okay, yeah, there should be a grid of 3. So like it looks like a tic-tac-toe board, I guess. You want the subject of your photo, or like the focal point of your photo, to be within that center row. If I were here and I'm taking a photo of the rainbow. Here's my middle line, so I want to make sure the focal point is right there rather than like this. I hope that makes sense. Now the focal point will be more down here. And so as I'm zooming in, I always like to mess with that. And then I also use, the iPhone has it as well as Instagram, and it's where you can adjust if the photo is at an angle like this. You can, like, let's say that I took a photo of this and it's sitting on the stool or whatever, but the photo I took, it makes it sideways because my phone was sideways. You can literally rotate the photo here. It's so cool. So I love to use that all the time. But also, let's say that my camera, I was like, instead of coming at it with an angle straight on, I was kind of sideways a little bit. You can actually pull the photo back like this. It's so cool. You have to be careful how much you do it. So let's say it's like this. I can literally adjust the photo and it will pull this back by pulling this part of the photo forward. So like pulls half of it forward. So you can play with that it's both in the Instagram and in the iPhone settings. All of you might have known this, but that's like my favorite thing that I play with it so that I can get the photo like face on. And that's how I take beautiful pictures of my hamsters. In my old YouTube videos, I used to say, thanks for sticking it out to the end with me, you're the real MVP. But now it's like, is that so cringy? Please tell me. I need to know in the comments below. But thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to watch more of my content. I plan to post videos every Sunday and every Thursday until we can reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to help out, I would so appreciate that. I really want you to know that every single one of you, every time you subscribe, I literally scream and then I go show my husband, literally every time. And same thing for when people buy a subscription box. I'm like, Michael, look, da, 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 da. So just so you know, there is a literal real human being behind the camera that screams like a little girl. I think that you'd really love to watch this video on my top 10 favorite Amazon products. I found so many amazing hidden gems and I share them in this video. See you over there.